woke up with fire in my soul, a vision burning bright, a goal to control. The road ahead ain't always clear, but I'm stepping forward, no room for fear. Each stair I climb, a lesson learned. From every fall, a lesson earned. The mind is a weapon, sharp and true. I'm forging ahead, there's nothing I can't do. Think and grow rich, that's the plan. With every step, I take a stand. Climbing the staircase of my dreams, fueled by the power of my schemes. Mind-focused heart on the rise. Achievement is the price I prize. Step by step I'm reaching high, tuning my mindset to touch the sky. The journey's tough, but I won't quit. I've got the drive, I've got the grit. Each level up, a new horizon, a world of possibilities in motion. I'm sharpening my thoughts, aligning my will, turning obstacles into a hills I can climb still. The power of belief, it's on my side. With every breath I'm fortified. I'm not just dreaming, I'm in the fight, turning the night into the light. Think and grow rich, that's the plan. With every step I take a stand. Climbing the staircase of my dreams, fueled by the power of my schemes. Mind-focused heart on the rise. Achievement is the price I prize. Step by step I'm reaching high, tuning my mindset to touch the sky.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to see you. Oh, I'm so excited about today, and there's so many good things happening in the world. We've got some surprises today, some excitement today, and I'm very honored to have you all here. I'm Leslie Flowers, and over the last 18 years, I've been teaching Think and Grow Rich and my own curriculum through 25 years of study to yield some 500 12-week goals created by my clients. So I've got the results, and I know the path, and now I spend my time showing that to you. And we have to learn through repetition. That's the first law of learning. So today we've got a big day today for all of us, and it's Friday and it's a big weekend. So let me say hello to everyone. We'll spend a few minutes acknowledging those of you who are here, and I'll leave these comments on as often as I can so you can say hello to each other. Today I want you to ask questions, because we've got some things and concepts that you may be curious about or may not understand because they may be new to you, or you're simply more aware than when you heard them here before. So good morning, Stephen Eng from New York. We got two New Yorkers here in the crowd here. We got Nick, our sponsor, and Stephen are both in New York. We've got Coach Carrie here. Hi, Carrie, from Indiana, and Merrill Cass from Paramus, New Jersey. And we've got David Pushkin. Hi, David. He's from London. By the way, my son and daughter-in-law are there all week. So another story, but they're enjoying your city so much right now. So glad that you're all here, and the most wonderful Ashif Haji is here. Hello, Ashif. So happy to see you. And there will be some new people, I believe. There's Alex. Hi, Alex. So happy that you're here. So Before we get started, I'm going to sing you a song from 1935. You know, Think and Grow Rich was written 100 years ago. And it is still the #2 bestseller of all times, only second to the Bible, the New Testament, which has been out for a lot longer than 100 years. And I have used this book, and many businesses and personal development success stories have used this map. And I've been teaching it for 20,000 hours, 65 12-week iterations. Actually, there's more now because I've been doing it here for a few years. And so you have the opportunity to learn the creme de la creme. I will give you what you need to know. It's a big book, and there's a lot to assimilate. But if you're curious, and this is a good time for you, today is going to be very special because I'm going to reveal to you the 12 laws of achievement that were built upon those 500 results. What was it that had these clients achieve whatever it is they want without knowing how? How did that happen over 18 years and inside 65 business quarters? So I invite you to relax and say hello. And anybody who was over, hey, Rob, so good to see you. Oh, and Coach Carrie has put this in here. All right, so we all know that sometimes LinkedIn shows pop off. There's some sort of issue. So Coach Carrie, if you'll scroll in the comments, there's the link to YouTube. It also is streaming there, so you won't miss anything. All right. So what I'm going to do, Alex, let's see what you have to say. I do have it on my bookshelf, but I have not reread it in a while. Well, Alex, you'll be glad to know you don't have to. I've done it for you nearly 90 times or just over 90. And I will bring to you what you need to know to employ the principles of success. And this is also principles, leadership, and laws. So I'm thrilled to have you here. And oh my goodness, look who has popped in. There's Jessica Hairston. She is a physician who has worked with me years and years ago. She's done some pretty extraordinary things. In fact, a couple of her goals were simply mind-blowing. And I will share a little bit about that later. So she did some amazing things that kind of surprised us all. So I'm glad you're here, Jessica. Wonderful. So in the comments, say where you're calling from, where you're coming in from. Ask any questions. If you have a question, put the word question first so I can catch it, and then followed with the question. And if you need clarity, like if something is confusing to you, do the same thing. Put in clarity, colon, and then whatever it is that wasn't clear. So please engage with each other. You're going to meet a lot of new people here. I have invited 400 new people that I haven't been inviting. So our sponsor and my accountability partner said, Leslie, what can you do to get some more people to come? And I thought, well, I have 1,000 invites a week, and I've been inviting 100 a week to this. So I times 5. And so I'm excited. Jessica's here and Alex is here. And Linda Meyer is here. Hey, Linda. Oh, so good to see you, Linda. All right. Let me sing this song, and then I got a little surprise for everybody. So I'm going to sing the song from Porgy and Bess, which was a musical in, I think, right around 1935. And so I try to, or my goal is to bring everything back to 1937 and that era where Napoleon Hill and his wife might have attended this musical. So here we go. Enjoy. I hope you like it. I like this one. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing Isn't that something else, that song? All right, everybody, come right on in. If you look at the bottom of your screen on LinkedIn, there are 3 little dots, and you can click them, view event details, and go and invite people, share it with people in your network, what we're doing, and it will reduce the size of your screen temporarily. You won't lose the live. And so I'm so excited to have you all here. And now for a little surprise for everybody. All right. So allow me to bring up my. And here we have my friends. There's Nicole. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
I am great. Good morning. Happy Friday. Oh, it's good to be here. How are you?
I am fantastic. And everyone, I can turn on the banner right now. I am so honored that Nicole has opted to sponsor this show each week. And this is something people do to support others. And so Nicole has a publishing house she started last year, Guiding Brilliant Writers. And many of you know her. But I want you to tell us, Nicole, right now she is publishing an anthology, We Are More Than Our Diagnosis. But Nicole, tell us why you decided to sponsor this show and what's coming up for you and what's available to those listening at Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House, please.
First off, thank you so much for giving me a couple of minutes today. I've learned a lot from Leslie in the last couple of years. We're very close, and we actually spend every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9 o'clock for an hour together, catching up and working. We have very similar mindsets, yet even though we have different thoughts, it's that mutual respect we have for one another that we always want to understand each other's thoughts. So when I think of Think and Grow Rich, that's exactly what I'm doing right now with Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House. People have this word rich, and I think the first thing people think is dollars. And yes, you can be rich in dollars, but you can be rich in many other things as well. I'm rich in friendships, not just Leslie's, so many of you out there in the audience as well. So Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing is my life's work, and it is to be able to just give everyone an opportunity to follow their hearts. I'm wearing my Nurture Animal Rescue shirt today. I'm sure most of you know Chief of Staffy Nellie, and to me, that's leveling the playing field. It's knowing when you can step up and give an opportunity to someone else. So I'm going to ask Leslie to allow me just 2 seconds to just share. This is volume 1 of We Choose to Be More Than Our Diagnoses. We had 16 writers. And I just put this one quote in here: "You can believe the diagnosis, not the prognosis," by Deepak Chopra. And I found this quote and it meant so very much to me. And in the front of the book, I wrote just a few lines. "We choose how we face the kind of life we have been handed. We choose faith over fear, love over anger, serenity over antagonism. Our ability to embrace all of who we are, including our diagnoses, is what defines us, not the diagnoses. Stigma loses its grip when we choose not to be stigmatized. I choose, therefore I am." And so we each choose what we want for our lives, and therefore we are what we live every day. Volume 2 of We Choose to Be More Than Our Diagnoses is underway. We have 13 writers. I am hoping to get to 16. I would just, like the opportunity to help people find their voice, to share the challenges they have faced and what they've chosen for their life beyond the diagnosis, as I have with my bipolar disorder. And by extension, I can share just this quick one with you. A few houses down, I was walking last summer, going door to door, selling my book, and a couple purchased it. She was walking down the street about a week ago and saw me sitting in front of my place. She came up to me, gave me the biggest hug. She said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "Of course, you were the first person to buy my book." And she said, "Yes, I'm on the way to visit my sister who lives nearby. She's had mental health struggles her entire life, and she's now in a home." You do not know whose life you will touch when you write your story. So Leslie, I thank you. If you're interested, please reach out. I have 3 more spots I'm trying to fill, and we are going to be meeting each other as authors this weekend. Thank you so much. And thank you, audience, for allowing me a few minutes to share this with you.
Absolutely. And just, I'll say one tiny thing here, and then thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your stopping your day to come in and visit a little bit. If you've ever thought you'd like to write in a book, but you didn't think that you could, you can. And Nicole is a guide. So she'll get you through she'll get you to faith over fear, truth over lies. And once you've written, it's 3,500 words, and you've probably done that in high school. It's a little different though with your story, right? It is different. However, that's your legacy. People will remember you afterwards. It could be your business card. It could be a gift to your family, and it'll be your history. And you'll be so proud of yourself. So just reach out to Nicole. Nicole, thank you so much for being here. I hope you can stay further. I know you're very, very busy, and hope to see you. And I'm so glad you've gotten so much out of this.
I'll be here in the background. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. And thank you again.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Okay. Well, this was wonderful. Let me turn on these comments and catch us up, because there's a lot to do, and it's already 11:19, but it's so wonderful to have you all here. And I'm going to go very briefly because there's a lot here. I saw several people came in when Nicole was here. I see Bobby Lee Clark. He's in North Carolina, I think, too, and loves to grow, has a garden. And we both like fried okra. Right, Bobby Lee? And there's Felipe Cofino. He's an author, and he's written in Nicole's 1 or 2 of Nicole's anthologies, and also is a best-selling author. wrote a children's book in English, and it's published in Spanish. And there is Leanna. Hi, Leanna. She's up in Duluth, Minnesota. And the thing that you want to get about these lessons, and this is a study, and in order to apply what you're hearing each week, you have to practice it. It won't sink in to the point where you can apply it until you've heard it several times. That's why repetition is the first law of learning. And there's the one and only wonderful Mr. Handsome William Rochelle. I hope I didn't embarrass you, William. Hey, Stephen, we have a LinkedIn user from Aloha. Oh, I don't know. Could that be Dave Snell? I'm not sure. Hi, there's Jason Forehand and Nicole and Guiding Brilliant Publishers, published with HR for You and TK Kitchen, the most amazing cookbook. And they've got a contest going, so I've got to get mine open and cook from it. We get special things if ours wins the prize of who makes the best recipe and from that book. All right, let's see. I just don't want to miss anybody. Sharon Rose Winfield, wonderful. So glad you're here, Sharon Rose. Josette is here. Oh, hi, Josette. Gosh, you've been around a lot lately. You're rather omnipresent, my friend. I feel like I know you very well. And then over on YouTube, we have Leigh Scheidel. Thank you, Leigh, for being here. We've been friends forever. Seems like anyway, doesn't it? And Catherine Chadwick is here. Several of our Monday morning teachers, guest teachers are here. That's Mind Over Matter Mondays at 10:45 a.m. live right here, where guest teachers come in and offer their personal development basics so that you get all this information from different points of view at different levels of conscious awareness. All right, I think we're doing well here. I just want to get to the end here. Okay, good. Okay, here we go. Oops, that's not the one I want. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on today. All right, I'm going to shut this off. I'll change this to wide. Okay, not bad. Okay. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the 7 mantras. These are things that, oh my gosh, my clients have been repeating every week for 18 years, I hope. And then we're going to look at the Think and Grow Rich roadmap. We're in week 2 of 12. And it's not only Think and Grow Rich, it's from my book, Champion, the 2014 bestseller in Women in Business, which was my notes, if you will, for women in business and also good for men as I was studying Think and Grow Rich. So I started in 2008 and wrote this book, Champion, as a companion in 2014. And in there is a lot of the leadership, the universal laws, concepts around the wage gap, like that, so that there could be a good integration of women and men, women into 21st century business. Then I'm going to go through 3 lessons in the introduction, which is about definite purpose. We'll go through the 12 laws of achievement. It's time for you to set a goal for this quarter. Okay, here we go. All right, here are the 7 mantras, and I want to see, I don't know if you can see them. There we go. I'm going to turn this off. These are character builders. Through repetition, using autosuggestion, the 4th principle of success in Think and Grow Rich. This, by intentionally creating these mantras each week to yourself or out loud, eventually impresses these elements based on their vibration and how good you feel when you make these commitments and agreements into the subconscious mind, where it lives like the truth. And you begin to employ these characteristics. There's lots of good stories in Think and Grow Rich about how to do this through visualization. And many of you know about Jose Silva. There's a lot of information coming your way. So I'm going to read this to you as though, and you read it out loud too. And I wouldn't skip over it, because just pretend that you're in front of an audience of 500 people and you're sharing this with them, and you believe this in your heart of heart. These are things that you want to do, you ascribe to do, you're committed to being, starting with I am my word. I treat every agreement, including those with myself, as I would an appointment with my most trusted and valuable client or colleague. I am proactive. I am the one to make sure my scheduled call is held on time, even if someone else, another, said they would initiate the call. I am disciplined. I complete all tasks, no matter how small. If I miss one, I complete it within 24 hours. I am focused. I do not allow an interrupt in my plans based on my values unless there is an emergency that only I can handle or manage. Then I reset the original plan. I am motivated. I show up hungry and eager and present, even if I don't want to that day or I don't feel like it. I am trusted. I maintain strict confidence with the private information that I learn in dialogue with business connections, family, and friends. And I am the mirror of your greatness. I understand that the level of greatness I see in others is in exact proportion to my own. Searching for another's greatness expands my own. Okay. Go back to here. If you tripped up on any of those, it means that's a place to look. If you're curious, hey, Janelle Daniels, so glad you're here. It means that if you lost focus on a particular one of those mantras, that there's something there, something's going on there. Usually for me, it means that I'm not doing those things. Okay, so here we are. Hey, this is what the roadmap looks like. Now, last week here, we transitioned from the previous quarter into this quarter, and we began the first week of definite purpose. That is the introduction. Now we're in week 2 of definite purpose. And last week I shared one story with a lesson. This week I'm going to add 2 to them. Now these stories drive home what there is to remember. Okay. They're the creme de la creme, the cherry on top. They're what has evolved and floated up to me. And these are the things that I know that when you listen to them and try them on and embrace them, you will get this process and your life will change forever. And it's an aspiration. You never actually arrive, right? But there's so little time spent on the negative when you do this work. So we're beginning here with definite purpose. It's the introduction. Don't bother reading anymore until you get this. One definite purpose that is powerful, that will change the world. And the 12 laws of achievement that we're going to go over today will show you how to zero in on that for yourself. And I also have some examples for you of a 12-week goal that employs the 12 laws. So you always have your best shot at achieving. All right, let me just back this up. Let's see if this works. Oh, I don't know that I like that. Maybe we'll go here for this piece. Okay. So last week we talked about Edwin Barnes as the first example in the introduction about definite purpose. Now, Edwin Barnes had made up his mind. He had a definite purpose, didn't know Edison, didn't have a dime, didn't live near there. Most people would have given up, but he was so compelled and so enamored with what Thomas Edison was doing, he decided, I am going to be his partner. I'm going into business with him. And he didn't have any money, so he rode blind baggage, which is on a freight car, right? And showed up at Edison's door looking much like a vagrant. Now, what happened is that Edison told someone later the reason he actually did hire Barnes. Barnes said, I'm here to go into business with you, looking like a vagrant. But Edison saw something in his eyes, and this is what he told someone later why he hired Barnes. He had his intuition was high there, and he saw in the eyes of Barnes that this man had already made his mind up. Okay, that's the first story. Now, today we'll move to the second story that's in the introduction, and this is 3 Feet from Gold. And you know that there's a book written about this very story. Now, this is about the gold rush era. And I'm trying to think of what is 𝘬𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘬 decided in the mid, I guess it was 1850s or 1860s in Colorado, that he was going to go mine for gold. And he went out there and he did hit a gold vein. And so he went home, closed up the mine, and borrowed money from everybody he knew, family and everything, to buy the big equipment, right? Because they had discovered a vein. And he did just that and went to work and began pulling ore from his mine. And pretty soon he had almost everything paid off. And then, of course, the gold stopped. And he didn't know what to do. And they kept trying and trying and trying. And the gold vein appeared to have dried up. Out of frustration, he sold all of his equipment, gave up, went home, and he sold for a couple of $100 everything to the junk man, the local junk man, I guess, that hung around and sold stuff, right, to the miners. But he was smart. And this brings up seeking expert advice. He went to the geologist. I don't know if they called him that back then, and told him the problem. And the geologist, who had maps, took a look, and he says, you're 3 feet from the gold vein to start again. And so that's a lesson that 𝘬𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘬 never forgot. He did go home. He did finish paying everybody off, right? And he went on, and I'll tell you with the next story what happened to 𝘬𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘬 with these experiences. And you may see yourself in these experiences. So the junk man made the money, right? But then in the third story, this is a 50-cent lesson in persistence. Here you see a sharecropper's daughter 100 years ago, whose mother sent her to the manager, the farm manager, and she's standing at the door in the mill. She's about 6 years old. And it's about 100 years ago in Virginia. I think it was Virginia, maybe West Virginia. I think it's Virginia. And her mother had sent her out to get 50 cents for some reason. And so she stood there in the doorway, and 𝘬𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘬 was the nephew of the farm manager, and he was there in the mill at that time. She stood in the door, and she yelled at the top of her lungs, my mammy said, give me 50 cents. And the farm manager, his uncle, looked up and said, go on, get out of here. Now, you know, at this time, that was a pretty dangerous thing for a little 5 or 6-year-old girl to do, but her mother had said, don't come home without the 50 cents, probably, or I'll switch your legs. And unless you've had your legs switched, Bobby Lee, you know what that is. You don't want to have your legs switched with a tender branch from a tree. Anyway, so she said, yes, sir, and didn't move. And then she said again, my mammy said, give me 50 cents. Well, he got annoyed, picked up a barrel stave, which is a metal rim to keep barrels together, and began to approach her with it up above his head, like he was going to hit her. She took 2 steps toward him and said it again. My mammy said, give me 50 cents. She stopped him in his tracks. He put down the barrel stave. Now, 𝘬𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘬 is watching this, right? Okay. And reached in his pocket and pulled out 50 cents. Gave it to the girl, and spent time with 𝘬𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘬𝘬 trying to figure out what had just happened. She backed out slowly through the door and went home with her 50 cents. 𝘬𝘠𝘪𝘯𝘬𝘬 learned those lessons and became one of the country's, the United States, top grossing life insurance salesman over $1 million a year from those lessons. Oh, right. Yes, you can. I don't know. Yes. Oh, you can't post. Okay. So if you're logged in, all right, I'm looking here at this. Here we go. Just a second. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Here's a second. I just want to make sure that there aren't any questions here. So give me just a second, everybody. So you got the 3 stories. Okay. What did you get from them? I guess is a good question. All right, everybody's still here. Good. Looking for questions. Hey, Leslie, Nicole, perfect. All right, you got the 3 stories. Do you get what this is about now? Absolutely. Right? All right, Leanna, perfect. Everybody's here. Just want to make sure. Okay. Give us a history lesson too. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Well, there's a lot of delicious history with this. Okay. Now I'm not sure if I saw any questions, so forgive me. Let me just put this back on and we'll move on. So those are the lessons from the introduction. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Now, I hope you can see this. We're getting into the goal setting piece now. All right. Now I want to show you that these are possible 12-week opportunities. Now, with my wonderful friend Jessica Hairston, one of her 12-week goals, and most of my clients were with me for a year, 2 years, some as many as 5 years, which is 4 goals every year, to build their businesses. And Jessica, at that time, she's a physician, and her dream was she decided she was going to open a practice close to home because she was traveling at that time and her son was little. And correct me, Jessica, if I'm wrong here. Okay. But this is how I remember it. And so for her 12-week goal, she said, Leslie, I'm going to open a practice. I found the place. And I have to tell you, my friends, with traveling around and being a physician, this woman using this work opened up that practice. Not only did she open it up, but she had it fully staffed and had a big party, and I was there for the opening in 12 weeks. So I'm here to tell you that if you stay with this and if you pay attention a couple, 2-3 times a week to what you're doing with this goal, and you employ what I'm going to share with you, she had no idea how she was going to do it. Right? She did 2 steps every week. She did, and that's the trick, not to lay everything out. So now I got to read over here. So you can decide that you want to increase your LinkedIn readership or your connections or your followers. Maybe you've got a new program. Maybe you don't have enough. Maybe you have 2 or 3 or 4,000 people, but maybe you want to go for 10,000. That's me. I'm at 9,500. I don't push very much, but I'm looking to, and I've made those milestones myself. Maybe that's what it is, but you can't have done it before and you can't know how to do it. You have to just want it very much. And that's your definite purpose. And you could do that for 12 weeks. And the next 12 weeks could be to create your program, your offer, right? And you could write a chapter in Nicole's book. You could plan a vacation. You could buy a car. I had a guy who in 2 12-week quarters, the first quarter was to generate more income in his sales job, which he did. The effort was, though, the next quarter was to buy the car, which he had never had, a van and a new car, and wanted to take his kids. He had gotten divorced on a big summer vacation. So it can be something personal. It can be any one of a number of things. What is it that you want over the next 12 weeks? If you're a speaker, and you like to do podcasts, maybe you set a goal such as booking 12 podcasts during the quarter. And that doesn't mean you have to do them all. It means that you've got them on the books. And this is what I've been doing with my clients over 18 years, is determining what is it that we really want? What is just outside of our comfort zone? What's going to require some faith and some practical application? Okay, this is interesting. Let's see what you say. You can think about the steps, but know they can change. The path to the goal is never straight, right? And what happens is, part of the reason that is such a good point, Nicole, is because you see, when you set a goal, well, I'm not going to get into that. When you set a goal and you know all the steps, the thing is that you're learning all along. And so what happens is you're actually attracting people and opportunities to you based on moving toward the goal and having a definite purpose and falling in love with it. But they'll walk right by because you'll be grappling with those old steps that you created way back then. And so your time would be spent, chastising yourself and what am I going to do now, when there are people that walked right by you who had the answers. So one of the laws is you never plot it all the way out. If you know how to do it, it's not a big enough goal. Now, that's not to be confused with tasks. Okay. Yes. What did you say? See a person for who they are. Keep going. You are closer than you think. That's right. And persistence is the 8th principle of success. So this is linear learning. So the definite purpose and what your goal is going to be. And I invite you, pick one, because now we're going to get into the checklist that I created, right? As that brought the consistent results, whether it was an emerging enterprise, whether it was a franchise, a business, whether it was a small business, an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter whether you're a wife, a husband, whether this started as a hobby and you want to create a business. It works for everything. Everything. Okay, let me just see what's next here. Okay, no, I don't want to do this now. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry. All right. No, I don't. I want to take this off here and I want to talk to you. I'm going to tell you about the 12 laws here right now. Okay, I got to do this very quickly. So here's where you want to, let me see. Here we go. Here's where you want to write in the comments any questions you have. All right. So I'm going to start with making a statement. And I want you to think, what is the answer? All right. Is it, no, I'm not. I'm just going to tell you what these are because we don't have time for me to do a true or false. But I can ask you this. No, I can. Let me just see whether you agree or not. So number 1 of the 12 laws of achievement. The purpose of a goal is to make money, to be used as a tool for whatever it is you want. No, let me just back up here. I don't want to do it this way. I'm just going to tell you what they are. I don't have time for me to get into true and false. The first thing you want to know is what the purpose of a goal is. All right. And let me see if I can move this darn thing over. Oh, naturally. Sorry. Here we go. I just want to move this daggone thing over and it won't let me move. So it's in my way. Maybe I could do it this way. Oh, yeah. All right. Smart ass thing. Okay. There we go. The purpose of a goal is to motivate you into action. And thank you for your patience, everybody, while I monkey around with MS Word because I didn't want to load up the screen. All right. The purpose of a goal is to motivate you into action. All right. You have to stay motivated the whole time. Now, this doesn't look good here. I just This is just irritating me just a little bit. Here we go. Because I want to watch this too. Okay. Perfect. I can see now. I can see. Oh, there we go. Yes, I can see your comments too. Perfect. All right. Tall. And here we go. All right. So you have to be motivated into action. The next thing is set an exact date for completion. And with 12 weeks, it's easy. But with something bigger, you might say to me, well, Leslie, I don't know how long it's going to take. Set a date anyway, a date that will excite you, as though you already have it. So it will be very easy to count out 12 weeks or 10 weeks, however you want to do this, and set the date. And there's a reason for it. You're only going to set one goal at a time. Life has to go on. There's been a lot of studies, empirical and scientific evidence, that we have lost our ability to focus and concentrate as human beings. No surprise with the sensory overload we deal with all the time, every day, all day. Pick one definite purpose, okay? One thing that lights you up, one thing that you're compelled to do, one thing that's heart-centered. It's not a selfish thing. It's something that'll make a difference for you, for your family, for someone else. Pick one thing for this quarter that you want very much. Maybe it's to write. Maybe it's to book podcasts. Maybe it's to get a job. Maybe it's to plan a vacation. It doesn't matter. Or just have enough money for that vacation. All right. So you're going to pick one goal. Why not more than one? Because usually nothing gets done when you fracture yourself like that. Plus, you have a life to live. You really only need 2 tasks a week. You really don't want to get ahead of yourself, because remember, as you move through your life and as you're enjoying the idea of having this goal, you're attracting through your vibration, your cellular vibration, based on what you're thinking about this, people and opportunities that will come right to you with the answer. You used to think they're coincidences. What if they're not? What if your thoughts, that you're more powerful than you ever thought you were? Because I'm here to tell you, you are. That what you want is moving toward you at the same velocity or amplitude of vibration that you're moving toward it. So if you're focused on one thing and you're always taking 2 steps, you want to focus on it every other day, a little while, so that it's top of mind. Now you want to write down your goal, a nice paragraph, as though you've already achieved it. So you're standing in the future, in the present. Why do we do that? So if I want a beach house, I'm not going to be standing on the shore looking at the beach house I want. I'm inside the house that I've already bought. But my goal is until 2027, June 1st. But when I write this out and I think about it, it's in present tense. It's a brand new house. There's sticky shellac on the floor. Ooh, a bird, a seagull just pooped on the deck. I've got to clean that up. The kids are coming soon. This is what Mary Morrissey calls 5 sensorizing. It excites you. It inspires you. Remember, mind is a cellular activity. It is responsible for your physiology, your nervous system, and to set up the chemical cocktail in your brain to have new neuroplastic pathways. So, write it down with all the details, what it smells like, what the weather is like, what you're hearing. Use your 5 senses and imagine that you're there. Okay? Now, only share your goal with very close people, particularly in the beginning, until people and opportunities start showing up that you thought were coincidences about halfway through the 12 weeks. Keep it to yourself. Have an accountability partner, maybe 2 or 3 people that are in a mastermind, people that will hold you accountable, but accountability is both ways. So a good accountability partner, you both keep each other on track. So you could pick right here in this group, and you meet once, maybe twice a week, 15 minutes each way. What did you do? What were your successes? What didn't you do? Because you only have 2 tasks a week. Sometimes it doesn't work. You've got someone right there to say, okay, well, what else can you do? Rather than going down the rabbit hole, oh, it's not working. You just got to keep moving your feet, keep moving, whatever it takes. So keep it to yourself. In Luke 4:1 in the New Testament, you'll never be a prophet in your own home. I think it's 4:1. Forgive me if I don't know that exactly. What it means is your family will not understand. They'll treat you like crabs in a bucket, right? You put all these crabs in a bucket. As soon as one starts to crawl out, everybody pulls them back down. Your family loves you, and they think you're going to leave them if you achieve this goal, and they don't understand. Not yet. They will when you get halfway there. You don't need a dime to start. All you need is 2 steps. Don't use the excuse that I have to have money. Most of these goals don't take anything to get started. And many of them you'll achieve in terms of, if it's followers or connections on LinkedIn to create a nice seed bed for your next quarter, doesn't cost anything, not really. And it's got to be something you want, not something you need. Want and need are very different. Want has a high vibration. It's exciting to think about it. Need you take care of anyway. Don't waste your 12 weeks getting something you need, which you would do anyway, since you're only spending very little time on this, but it's pervasive in your life. And yes, you can do sticky notes, and yes, you can do a vision board, and yes, you can do the mantras. These are all things that generate that high vibration, and the universe will grant you your goal based on your vibration. So if you had a high vibration, you're going to get that goal. If you have a low vibration, you're going to be surrounded by a lot more of the low vibration. Like, oh, please don't send me any more bills. Bills will show up at your door because that's a very low vibration. So the universe will match it. Remember, what you want is moving toward you at the same amplitude of vibration or velocity you're moving toward it. And that is your cellular vibration. So it's got to be something you want, not your need. And there's somewhere right here. Hold on a second. Is only 1 or 2 steps to count to start, and they don't cost anything. Focus on why you want it, not how you'll do it. You don't know how to do it, or you failed at it before. Maybe you've tried and you failed, or you have no clue. But you can take 2 steps, and they don't cost anything. And if you focus on why you want it, the heart-centered reason, it'll outweigh how. How brings up fear, and you don't know how to do it, or you've already failed at it. So don't focus on how you're going to do it. Focus on why you want it. It'll make you feel much better. Never reduce the size of your goal. Remember, the purpose of a goal is to keep you motivated into action. If you reduce that goal to hit a deadline, you will lose your motivation. And the last one is, remember that you do want to be afraid every so often. If you have no fear at all about this during the process, it's not a big enough goal. But when you do feel fearful, just remind yourself why. That is all you have to do. Oh, Lord, I got to get moving here. Hi. It's easy for us to fall into, here's what Stephen says. Easy for us to fall into a trap comparing our own goals. Yes, the size, scope, and quantity of our goals don't need to be externally validated. And that follows the law of relativity. Nothing has any value until you compare it to something else. So don't compare your goal with anybody else's goals, okay? There's no need to do that, right? Because very often our fears will make us feel less of ourselves. So I will come back in and answer everything. High vibrations come through the universe. Well, that's how you communicate. That's how the universe knows, Carrie, what to send you. to match the vibration. Okay, what time is it? Oh, all right, let me see what's next here. I'm not going to do this. Yes, I'm going to. Okay, I want to bring this back up on stage. Where was it? Here. There we go. All right. So what I want you to do is pick a goal. Now, you've had the 12 laws. Remember, it's something that you've not done before, you failed at. You don't need any money for. You only pick 1 or 2 steps to start. Oh, God. I need to look at that again. I mean, you got them. Let me see what else is here. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. Keep it to yourself. Focus on why you want it instead of how you're going to do it. Make sure it's something you want, not something you need. Never reduce the size of the goal, and it's okay to be a little bit afraid. And set an exact date and pick only 1 goal at a time, okay? So absolutely want you to pick one. Pick a goal for yourself, and I'll be around. You can send me messages or whatever. Find an accountability partner. Next Friday, we're going to go into week 3, desire, the first principle of success, the starting point of all achievement. Don't go in there until you've got definite purpose. You have to get those lessons. So watch this again, is what I say. Afraid of what? Did I miss it? I don't know. I don't know, Rob. You're all good. Everything's good. You can go back and listen to this again. I hope you're loving this. All right, we have to go on. Next Friday, you'll see what we're going to do. All right, you ready for our meditation? Now, we need to lock in this information. It's critical because you're going to go out in your day and your weekend, and I need for this. I want this to be part of you. So everybody get ready for the meditation, okay? This is a visualization and a meditation. And, oops, that's not what I want. Oh, shit, I hit the wrong button. Oh, damn, wait a second. Okay, here we go. All right, ready, everybody? All right. So now sit back and relax a bit. Get comfortable. And the first thing I want you to do, you're looking at a place we're headed. All right, so this visualization is going to take you to 𝘠𝘠𝑚. Start by taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale slowly through your mouth, imagine yourself stepping out onto the balcony of your cruise cabin on a large blimp. The early morning air is warm, soft, and quiet. Your travel companions are still asleep, and this moment belongs entirely to you. You sit with a cup of coffee, feeling the gentle warmth in your hands. Ahead of you, the ship glides effortlessly across the open sky, smooth, steady, unhurried, toward a land where virtues, values, and soul-kissing love welcome you in. The horizon stretches wide, reminding you that life always offers more possibilities than you can see at first glance. As you breathe in again, feel the peace of this moment settle into your body. As you breathe out, let your mind become still and open. Now imagine 3 gentle clouds rolling toward this amazing place, each carrying a lesson you're ready to absorb. The first cloud reminds you that choosing a definite purpose is an act of clarity. It's the moment you decide what truly matters. See yourself placing one clear intention on the table in front of you, something meaningful, something aligned with who you're becoming. Feel how choosing one purpose brings calm, not pressure. Focus creates freedom. The second cloud brings the awareness that you always have options. Just like the endless sky around you, your next 12-week goal could take many forms: growth, healing, discipline, creativity, connection, or even mastery. Picture those options floating like small boats through the sky. You don't need all of them. You only need the one that calls to you now. The third cloud carries your achievement checklist, the simple, steady actions that turn intention into reality. You imagine each item as you step on the smooth wooden deck below. Review your goal daily, take one meaningful action, track your progress, adjust when needed, and celebrate every win. These steps are your rhythm, your anchor, your compass to reach your destination. Take one more slow, deep breath as you look out at the vast sky. The ship keeps moving forward with ease, not because it rushes, because it stays on course. Feel that truth settle into you. When you choose a clear purpose, select your next 12-week destination and follow your checklist with consistency. Progress becomes natural, smooth, inevitable. Hold that feeling for a moment, the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly where they're headed. When you're ready, take a final sip of your imaginary coffee, smile out at the horizon, and gently return to this room, carrying this clarity with you. I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, thank you. Hi, Erin. So good to see you. And coming back over here. Here we go. I hope you loved that. This is a blending of a dream of a peaceful place where you can go with what you learned today and lock it in with that visualization. Now on Monday, and Mind Over Matter Mondays, we start a little early, 10:45. We have Coach Carrie Willis with us. Mind Over Matter Mondays, 10:45 a.m. until noon Eastern Time live. Come and meet our guest teachers. We have a new one every week. And with that, I'm excited to thank Nicole Angay-Galindo for coming in live today. And a special thanks, of course, to Erin Gibson. Thanks for being here, Erin, who created the beautiful intro and outro for this show. Think and Grow Rich, Principles, Leadership, and Laws. Be blessed, everyone. Look for the good. What is your goal going to be? What are you going to do this quarter that moves you closer to wealth, health, and happiness?
I woke up with fire in my soul, a vision burning bright, a goal to control. The road ahead ain't always clear, but I'm stepping forward, no room for fear. Each stair I climb, a lesson learned. From every fall, a lesson earned. The mind is a weapon, sharp and true. I'm forging ahead, there's nothing I can't do. Think and grow rich, that's the plan. With every step, I take a stand. Climbing the staircase of my dreams, fueled by the power of my schemes. Mind focused, heart on the rise. Achievement is the price I prize. journey's tough, but I won't quit. I've got the drive, I've got the grit. Each level up, a new horizon, a world of possibilities in motion. I'm sharpening my thoughts, aligning my will, turning obstacles into hills I can climb still. The power of belief, it's on my side. With every breath I'm fortified. I'm not just dreaming, I'm in the fight.